You said something really interesting right before we went to commercial. You said you knew your intention was different. And I
Yeah.
think that's the reason why I quit, is because I knew my intention was different, because I know I was drinking because, one, we were in a pandemic and it was
Right.
frightening and I was scared. I have a black son, and a lot of the George Floyd stuff was happening.
Oh yeah.
Trump was still president, and that
Mm.
was like a daily stress test.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
daily.
Yes.
And also it was unprecedented, so I was
Mhm.
afraid, and I remember even telling Jamie, I all I have to do is hold on till 4,
Right.
and then at 4 I'm gonna drink something that makes me not give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
So
every night, but it became every night. I
yeah.
would say every night from 4 to 10.
Okay. So first of all, how are we defining intention?
Intention, why we're doing something. Like,
Yeah.
my intention was to numb out, to
Yeah.
anesthetize myself from what was happening in the world.
Yeah,
and and
for sure.
but it became, I'm not kidding, 7 days a week, and we saw our MasterCard bill for our booze, and it
Yeah.
was thousands of dollars, because we were
Oh my
going
god.
through, some kind of, what was it, babe, Drizzly? We were using Drizzly or something, and like every
Oh,
other,
like
and
an app just to order
yes,
it?
and we never said no. We never like went, oh well, it's too much, or we just went full throttle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at what point did you start to realize truly what the intention was around kind of like escapism,
Oh,
that
from the
type of thing?
beginning. From the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew. I knew.
So
But
what happened though? What was the inevitable breaking point where you realized like, okay, this intention is way too off and now I just need to actually
all
make
right.
a change here?
I was not. My son is a lot. Being a parent is a lot,
Yeah.
and you have to be, in order to make good decisions in your interactions with your kids. You have to be present for that. And
Hmm.
the pandemic kind of lined up in the time where psychologically my son would have retreated to his room anyway. 15,
Hmm.
16 years old, they never leave their rooms.
Hmm.
So I would see him at breakfast, and then we'd have a poker night every Friday, and I would be completely present for that. And then the rest of the time it was like, let's have a drink, right? So the world starts to open up. My son's leaving the room. All of a sudden we're having to drive places, right? It
uh,
was in June, and I really got that I'm not going to be good at this. What I'm doing is not sustainable.
uh-huh.
I'm not reacting to my son in a way that I would, in soberly. Do you know what I mean? Not I'm
Right.
not making good decisions in my interactions with him, because with kids you really have to listen, and you have to
Hmm.
react appropriately in terms of, especially when there's a conflict. It's what being a parent has taught me, is you can't be reactionary.
Right.
You can't have a knee jerk response. You really have to think about things.
Were you
And I
starting to
wasn't doing
realize
that.
that you starting to realize that you were reacting much more?
Yeah, I was really kind of like turning into my dad. I was kind of cranky and
Oh.
snappish
Uh-huh.
and dismissive, and almost, yeah, disrespectful. Not
Hmm.
respectful of my son's voice and who he is as a person in a way that I would be when I'm sober.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that it was lining up with, like you said, once everything started to open back up, it was when you started to
Mm-hmm.
realize some of the shifts that were happening, that you were drinking too
Mm-hmm.
much, that you were a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
reactionary, you were a little bit more like your dad and snappy,
Yeah.
and like that was the thing. Was there
Also,
was
I
there
was really fat. I was fat.